As already mentioned, my name is Sabina Braun, and I'm the head of the Education Department of the National Liechtenstein National Museum in Vaduz. I'm an art historian, and also I'm a trained teacher. As hopefully everyone knows, Vaduz is the capital of the Principality of Liechtenstein, a very small, not to say tiny, tiny country between Switzerland and Austria. And in the north, you would find Lake Constance, where you would also find Germany. So we have those three countries next to the Principality of Liechtenstein. I would like to give you some information about our specific situation, as you already mentioned, Britta, about the Liechtenstein National Museum, so you maybe get an idea of our starting point, or let's say of our reality and therefore of our daily changes. Liechtenstein itself is a very rural country with not even 38,000 people living there. The capital of Vaduz has only 5,500 people living. So this makes it really, really small. The catchment area for our museum stretches a little bit farther from Chur. This is in the Swiss Alps. It's actually the biggest city in the area, to Bregenz at Lake Constance. And because the whole area is very rural, this makes about 300 up to 350,000 people living there. So this helps to understand that the number of our visitors of our museum is not as big as you might or would expect for a national museum. Nevertheless, the Liechtenstein National Museum is a very lively and active museum, and we try to address our audience in many different ways. In fact, our institution consists of 4 museums. Next to the National Museum itself, which presents archaeology, history, and nature history of Liechtenstein, we also run the Postal Museum for the Principality of Liechtenstein, the Treasure Chamber, and a rural farmhouse museum outside of Vaduz. Furthermore, as you already mentioned, Britta, we have, and this is amazing, more than or about 20 special exhibitions a year of different sizes, and this brings along a lot of daily tasks. Then we also have concerts, theaters, performances, lectures, and events. Now, you might be surprised to hear that the staff number without the guards of our 4 museums are 9 people, including director, 2 curators, 1 restorer, 1 assistant to the director, 1 bookkeeper, 1 technician, 1 photographer, and me. So it's easy to see that with such a small number of staff, it's very challenging to keep it all running and to keep up with all the daily tasks. But not only the staff, and therefore our capacities are limited, but it's also our knowledge, if you want so, because we don't have anyone in charge for marketing. We don't have anyone in charge for graphics, design, or for technology. So the 9 of us, we all try to make it on our own as good as possible with what we bring along of knowledge and more. Now, Smart Places gives us the opportunity to start to work, and honestly, it's really to start to work with electronic elements in our museums. Actually, one of the museums, the rural farmhouse museum outside of Vaduz, does not even have internet. It's a 500-year-old building with no modern installations in it, more or less, except electricity. Now, with Smart Places, we can sort of start to begin with doing first steps and first experiences with little tiny digital elements. One is the digital museum rally for kids. Britta already mentioned, for the permanent exhibition in the National Museum. Thanks to the help, and I really have to say, only because of the help of Oulu University in Finland, we were able to work or to create a very, very simple museum rally in a digital version for our youngest visitor group, which until then did not have a special mediation offer so far. So now with our digital kids museum rally, families, they can achieve our exhibition and learn more about the Principality of Liechtenstein. And it's not only the children and their parents, it's hopefully also grandparents and other family members. For the electronic version of our app, actually there is, as you might see of the picture, which is not changing, there is also a paper version which existed slightly before the digital version. So now our visitors, they can choose if they want to take the paper version, if they maybe feel more comfortable or lacking of the electronic device, or they can choose and take the electronic version. There is a leading figure. It's the museum mouse Musculus, which leads the children through the 6 areas of the permanent exhibition of the National Museum. In those 6 areas, there were 1 or 2 interesting objects where they find with the help of Mus Musculus, and there are age-appropriate informations about an object as well as multiple choice questions, including answers or explanations. At the end of the rally, it will take them, or it takes them like 20 up to 30 minutes to reach the end of the rally, because the permanent exhibition stretches over 3 buildings. The children can see how many points they achieved of how many possible points, and they also get rewarded with a little diploma. This is it. There is nothing more with our digital app. For us, it's already a big plus. And we will now offer the app also, and hopefully very soon, not only in the museum, but also on our homepage, on our website. So it can be used as an educative tool wherever our visitors are, even if they can't come and visit tiny Liechtenstein. It is definitely not a very sophisticated tool we now have, but for us it really is something we didn't have before, and we very, very glad and also thankful to the help of Smart Places that we now can offer this tool for our youngest visitors. Thank you for your attention.